I'm Ryan, and I'd like to introduce you to my project about Sir Donald George Bradman. I chose to focus on Don Bradman because I think he was the greatest batsman in the history of the game. He's also a person that has really inspired me. He taught himself to play cricket, and he played at such a high level as a result of lots and lots and lots of practice and dedication. He has also had to overcome many obstacles in his life. During his professional career, there were several times when he was too unwell to play, but he always fought back and did his best. I'd now like to tell you about some of the events in his extraordinary life in a timeline that I made up. Don Bradman was born on the 27th of August 1908. He was born at Cootamundra, New South Wales. He was the youngest son of George and Emily Bradman. In 1911, when Don Bradman was 2.5 years old, his family decided to move to Bowral. During Don Bradman's childhood years, in 1912 to 1919, he practiced cricket constantly. He developed his own solo cricket game so that he could practice by himself. This involved using a cricket stump for a bat and a golf ball for a ball. In 1920, he made his first century at the age of 12 years old, whilst playing cricket at Bowral Public School. In 1921, whilst watching cricket at the Sydney Cricket Ground with his father, he said, "I shall never be satisfied until I play on this ground." His ambition was to play cricket at a very high level. Later in 1927, he made his first-class debut at the Adelaide Oval when he was aged 19 years. He achieved an innings of 118. In 1930, Bradman was part of the Australian team that toured England to win the Ashes. In 1932, Don Bradman married Jessie Menzies. In 1933, Don Bradman got out for a duck at the MCG against England in the Ashes series. This was due to England's team tactic of using body line. In 1934 to 35, Don Bradman was not able to participate in the cricket season due to ill health. In 1936, Don Bradman became captain of the Australian cricket team. In 1940, all cricket tours are postponed due to the Second World War. Bradman joins the Royal Australian Air Force. After 4 months, he has transferred to the Army and was made a lieutenant. In 1941, due to poor health, he left the Army and began working as a stockbroker again. In 1946, he continued to be unwell and his doctor recommended against him returning to play cricket. However, he did play in the 1946 to 47 Ashes series, and he was the leading batsman on either side, with an average of 97.14. In 1948, in the final test of the Ashes at the Oval in London, he went out for a duck in England's first innings. An England batting collapse resulted in an innings defeat that unfortunately meant that Bradman didn't get a chance to bat again. In 1998, on his 90th birthday, he meets with two of his favourite modern players, Shane Warne and Sachin Tendulkar. Sadly, on the 15th of February 2001, Don Bradman dies in Adelaide, aged 92. Now I would like to take a look at how this magnificent player batted so well in his career. Don Bradman's style of batting has been very influential over the years. However, one of the things I have noticed from watching videos of Don Bradman playing cricket is that some of the batting techniques have changed, whilst others have stayed the same. I'm going to show you some of the footage of Don Bradman batting and then some of me playing the same shots to show you what I mean.
Would you mind just showing us one or two strokes now?
Just illustrate a few little shots for you, mean?
Yes, just your favourite strokes, you know.
Right here. Now, first of all, you want to know your defensive shot. You take your back defensive play. Your back defensive shot is made that way. Then you have your forward defensive shot played in that fashion. Then we have the late cut. made down through slips. We have the square cut made just behind point, going across with your right foot. Your square cut made just in front of point, going across with the left foot. Then we have your 4 drives, the cover drive, the off drive, the straight drive, and the on drive. They're all practically the same, except for the direction in which the ball is hit. Then you have your forward leg glance in that way, and you have the leg glance played by going back in that fashion. Then you also have what is known as the pull shot, and you have what is known as the hook shot. That covers practically the whole of the area right round the field, and those are most of the orthodox shots.
Thank you, Mr. Bradman.
To conclude, I would like to show you some of footage of the unlucky ending to Don Bradman's career. As I mentioned before, in the timeline of his life, his average batting score was 99.94. If the Don had got 4 runs on his last innings, he would have scored an average of 100.
When England took the field, Barnes and Morris made a good start, and Barnes' wicket fell at 117. Enter Don Bradman, who got a great ovation.
Don Bradman walked out to bat, needing only 4 runs to average 100 in Test cricket.
Hollis bowling and Don playing perhaps his last Test innings here.
And Hollis pitches the ball up slowly and he's bowled. Bradman bowls, Hollis not. Bowled, Hollis not.
Silence. Absolute silence.
I was a trifle unlucky in the sense that I played at the ball and actually hit it on the inside edge of the bat and pulled it onto the stumps. But I think if I'd taken a little bit more care, I might have got away with it. But that's one of the things that happens in the game of cricket.
Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you have enjoyed it and learned more about a famous Australian, Sir Donald George Bradman. How's that?